Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Um, Sorry if my voice sounds a little bit weird. I'm a little bit sick today, but I wanted to make a tutorial. I guess this is a little bit of a long-awaited tutorial about how to make a Windows 7 virtual machine. Um, in order to do this, I'm going to be using VMware Player, and also you're gonna like I have an ISO of Windows 7, and that's what I'm going to be using as well. So to get started, if you guys are if you guys don't have Windows VMware Player, I already made a video on how you can download that and install it. You can watch that. I'll probably try and put a link over here regarding that. But yeah, make sure you have VMware Player, and let's get started. Um, so I'm gonna go into the start and type in VMware. There, I have it installed already. VMware Player. Okay. So, um, let's just, it's asking if I want to update this. I'll prolong it for later. I already have a virtual machine here, but just for the sake of this tutorial, this is on Windows 8. I am using Windows 8, so I'm gonna make a separate one for 1040. So let's create. You wanna click create a new virtual machine right there. Um, After that, uh, make sure you there's different options here, so you want to select installer disk image file, the ISO. That's what I'm going to be using. If you have the Windows 7 or Windows 8 uh, disk, uh, like the actual DVD or CD drive with the OS on it, then you can insert it into your computer and then use this and then locate it. But I have an ISO, so I'm going to be using that. So I'm going to go browse, and let me find, sorry, I'm gonna go to software, and I'm gonna put that to Windows 7. Yeah, there we go. So I have Windows 7 professional, and I believe this is it. It should, yeah, this is it. So yeah, go browse to the folder that you have your ISO folder in. If you're gonna ISO file, if you're gonna use the ISO, browse to it, click on it, then hit open over here. After that, you see VMware detected. It says Windows 7 x64 detected. This operating system will use easy install, and then you just want to hit next. After that, you can enter the product key over here. Um, I don't think we need to enter it here. It might, uh, if you want, it's better if you enter it right here so it's easier. But just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm gonna leave this open because later on, once you install the VM, you can actually type it in then. So right now, I don't have to. You can make a username and password as well just to make it easier. But yeah, maybe I'll make a password. Just call it test, and we'll hit next. You did not enter Windows product key. Windows will install with that one, but must be manually activated later. Would you like to continue? Yep. And let me just one name. You can put a name for your virtual machine. So I'm just gonna say um, tech void. All right, and you can select the location where your VM is being stored. I think I'm gonna be saving this somewhere else, just so I save some space. My main OS is saved on a uh, on a SSD, so I want to save that space. Go to whatever drive you want to save your file in, and go virtual machines, and then hit OK, and let's hit next. And you can check. You can look at this is the summary report of your OS. I didn't, because we did easy install. It automatically like pretty much decided most of the preset options. If you want, you can customize your hardware, and you can specify exactly what you want to give it. Like, so because a VM is like a real computer. You can decide how much you want. So maybe I'll give it two megs of RAM if I wanted to, and you can allocate how many processor cores you want for it. You can virtualize. You can select these options if needed, but if you're not sure what you're doing, then you can just leave everything as default because it selects the basics that's needed. So yeah, pretty much all these other settings are here, but for now I'm just gonna hit close because we're gonna go with all the default amount here. You can actually go and edit the hard disk space. Right now it's giving it a 60 gigabyte hard drive for the OS, but if you want, you can go over here, um, and where's the space? I believe there's a way to manage the hard drive. Oh, sorry, I think I skipped past that. It's over here. So you can select the hard drive space that you want. I'm gonna give it, just leave it like that. And then you have these two options, which split. When you split it, it's easier to move. Like when you need to move your VM file somewhere else, it's easier to move. But yeah, as you can see, it already says here that move to the virtual machine to another computer, but may reduce performance with very large disks. So yeah, where I'm just gonna leave this small. We don't need it that big, and hit next. Power on this virtual machine after creation, and hit finish, and it should start loading the ISO file. Okay, so as you can see, it's loading up Windows 7 ISO, and I believe the OS setup should start. Let's see what comes next. Click in the virtual screen. Okay. So I can close this message right here. So yeah, as it's loading, I just like VMware Player. I'm using VMware Player right now just because it's quite easy to use. It's free. The more advanced version of it is VMware Workstation, where you can manage multiple workstations and like how they interact and stuff. But for our purposes right now, I'm just gonna use VMware Player to make this virtual machine. And it also comes with most of the features that I need to make it easier, to make using my VM easier. You can do a whole bunch of things with VMs, uh, but for the basic of it, here we're just installing the OS. I think I might pause this video and I'll be back once this loads a little bit more. You can see it's taking quite a while, so I'll pause it and I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Sorry. So the loading just finished, and it kind of it restarted. Sorry for not starting a little bit earlier. I missed the timing. And yeah, it's just restarting right now. You can see it finished. It's on the last stage, and one. I guess there's just a little bit left for us to wait for, but it shouldn't take too long. The timing, it took about roughly 5 minutes for this to happen, but it also depends on how much resources you have on your computer. If your computer has a lot of RAM, then you can allocate that X amount of RAM for this. If not, then you can be a little bit conservative with it, just so your computer won't become sluggish. Yeah, just on a side note, I guess, but this is actually my the 50th video that's gonna be put on my channel. So thank you all for all those guys who commented and kept me going for the earlier videos that I've done. And I know I just kept on making videos. Some are very basic, some are more advanced, but I keep whatever comes to mind, or whatever I feel that it might help somebody out there. I make a video on it. So hopefully these have been uh, they're beneficial in some way to you guys. So in this regard, I may need to pause this again. So I'll pause this just so to save time, and I'll be back again. Okay, guys. So that loading thing just finished, and this is what came up. Setup will continue after restarting your computer. Should restart automatically. Yep. And here it goes. The good thing about Windows 7 is even though you're making a VM, it doesn't ask you to type in your product key right away at the beginning. You can wait. I think it gives you about 30 days or something for activation. So in that regard, it's good. You can always just make a VM quickly, and VMs are helpful in sometimes when you need to test software or test a program that you don't want to test on your physical machine. So VM is kind of like that. It's like a closed environment where you can test stuff just before you actually install it on your physical actual computer. Uh, but yeah, this seems to be fine. On your desktop, fail to get the state of the lock on your CD-ROM. When the VM is powered off, the host operating system can misinterpret the state of the device. Well, that's about CD-ROM, so we don't really have a CD-ROM plugged in, so that's alright. You can see these lights here that's flashing. So this is the hard disk. You can see it says 60 gigs. That's how much we allocated for this VM. This is the CD DVD drive. That's like virtual CD DVD drive. Um, I guess I'm gonna make a video on that later on how you can actually insert. Say you have a CD inserted on your computer, it won't reflect on your VM unless you actually physically you have to go in the options and load it. So I'll show you guys how to do that later on. So this is this is the initial setup for Windows 7 VM. Let's ask him set everything up. Network location. We're gonna say this is home. And yeah, pretty much that's pretty much it. I don't want to make this video too long, but yeah, this is the Windows 7 virtual machine. Everything seems to have loaded fine. Now it's just doing like the you know the starting uh, formalities. This is VMware Tools. VMware Tools. VMware Tools. I made a video on VMware Tools as well and why you need it and why it's good. So you guys should watch that if you're wondering. But definitely, it's better not to cancel this because VMware Tools helps you out, makes your VM experience a whole lot better. It's much easier. So yeah, I have this done. Yeah, Windows 7 is loaded up. I can full screen it if I want or lower it. Gotta change the resolution to match the computers. But other than that, this is pretty much it. Thank you for watching my video on how to set up Windows 7 virtual machine using VMware Player. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you have any comments on how this video was, uh, how your experience of this video was, and any tips for me, if you have, please let me know. And please don't forget to share this video, comment, rate, subscribe. Thank you guys.